Hello everyone, my name is Chetan Dwarkani and today we are going to build a simple Hello World Android application using a very clean design principle which is one of the famous design architecture pattern in Android, MVVM plus live data plus data binding pattern. So this pattern, everyone who is starting the development makes a mistake of not following this pattern and eventually building a big app with a complex architecture design and not suitable for production use. So let's start building our first simple hello world application using a very clean design principle. As soon as you start your Android Studio, you will get this screen, which will help you to select the type of project you want to build. So let's go to the project type which we are trying to build, which is Fragment plus View Model. So let's click on Next and name this application as my first app. Maybe I'll choose that. You can name it whatever you feel like. And click on Finish button. So as soon as you click on Finish button, Android Studio will create a project for you with the necessary infrastructure and make it ready. Let's wait for some time until the build module gets done. And yes, now it's ready. Now the next thing is to go to the build.gradle file of your project in the module level, and the Android Studio automatically by default doesn't enable data binding for us. So the very first step is to enable the data binding in our project. So to enable that, we have to just do type this in the build.gradle file of the module application. Just type data binding to true and then click on sync now button. It will start importing the data binding necessary files required for the project. Now it's ready. So let's start building our application. So the next important part of the project is to enable the data binding in the fragment view part as well as in the Java file. So let's do that. Go to the main fragment of your file and type layout, create a layout tag, opening and closing, and here after that you need to create a variable inside a layout. Variable should have a name, maybe view model, and close. Apart from that, should have a type, which is com dot names. This is the location of my view model, which I'm going to type it, and yes, you're ready. So this is one part of the project which you have to do it in the fragment part. And the next thing is to enable data binding here. For that, all you have to do is go to the and instantiate the object of data binding, and then here this should return binding.getRoot. You need to initialize your object that you have to type this, your fragment name which you're trying to attach it with. The general initialization, which is common across all the application, and the important part is to set the lifecycle owner to your current fragment for this binding variable. And apart from that, you have to set your view model to the fragment part. So here you name a variable, and you have to set this variable to the view using the fragment that. Yes, so this part is, this should automatically show us the variable we created here, but I think we missed out something. Oh, yes. So we missed out the data tag. So this is one of the important tags which has to be surrounded as per the syntax of data binding. And once we do it, we must be able to set our variable to the view model. Yes, so we are done here in the fragment part as well as the XML part of the fragment. Next thing to do is to create a mutable live data variable here. Now let's start designing our view model. So for that, the very first thing is you have to extend this view model to Android view model and create a constructor for this view model. Constructor will have the input is application and we need to call the constructor super for this. And let's create our first variable, live data variable, live data of type string. Let this be hello and let's create the constructor and set it for this mutable live data. So getting set is done, and let's also set the initial value for this mutable live data, and that could be hello world. Here, the setter we can change it to this since we are really not gonna use the setter in this video. So yes, so we are done with the view model part now. Let's go to our fragment part, the XML fragment, and bind this view model. For binding this view model, we have to, in the text view, all we have to do is use this add tag, open braces, close braces, view model, and the variable name will pop up. So yes, we're done. So that's all for the first Android Hello World application using a clean design principle. So you have used view model concept here, did it using live data, and live data is mutable live data is an observer pattern. It follows the Android life cycle. It's life cycle aware, and you're creating and setting the value through the fragment part as well as you're listening and observing through the view part. Now let's run our application and see how it looks like. Another important part which we had missed out is adding the lifecycle extension dependency in a project. So this is one of the important lifecycle extension dependency which you have to add and sync the project. So after this gets imported, another important part is to sorry, yeah, in the instantiation of the on activity created must get changed, and it should come like this. That is, new view model provider of this or get lifecycle owner. You can use either of them, and main view model or class. Also, make sure to destroy your fragment. I mean, like the binding variable which you created on destroy view. Make sure to destroy that binding variable. Apart from that, there's also one more syntax to use for the inflator. That is this one. So you can use either this one or this one. So in this video, maybe like I can use this one to show you how it works. And yes, we're done after this. Now let's run our application and see how the output comes up. So wait until this gradle build gets completed. And I've connected my screen mirroring my application through this website, and as you can see we are done with our first hello world application. Congratulations. Thank you for watching the video. Do subscribe for more alerts on the upcoming videos. Thank you.